Listen to me now, because I am closer to you than the breath you just took, and I am speaking to the ache that will not quiet itself, to the question that keeps circling like a bird that refuses to land, to the soft call you have felt at the edge of sleep and the edge of waking. Since yesterday, November 5th, I have permitted a tender stirring in the veil, a nearness that you could feel like warm air on your cheek, because your mother in heaven has leaned close, and her desire to reach you was so sincere that all of heaven noticed. You have wondered if you were imagining it, if the sudden memory of her hands, the scent that passed you for a moment, the way a certain word flashed across your screen twice in the same hour, could be coincidence. I tell you, it was not coincidence. It was care. It was me allowing love to echo through time, because love does not die, it transforms, and when it transforms, it seeks you. You have carried conversations you never finished. You have kept them in a private room of the heart where you visit on quiet afternoons. You touch the frames in that room. Some days you can look directly at them, some days you glance quickly and leave. Since yesterday, I have opened a window in that room so light could enter in a new way. No, you are not going backward. This is not about reliving pain. This is about receiving the last part of a sentence that took years to arrive at your door. Your mother is whole with me. She is not lost or wandering. She is not confused. She is steady and unimaginably well, and in that wellness she sees you with clarity, and in that clarity she asked me, may I tell them what matters, may I help them walk a little easier, may I touch the thread that has tangled in their chest? And I said yes, listen, because her voice has been riding on simple things. The kettle that sang a little louder than usual. The quiet urge to sit in a chair you haven't used in months. The impulse to pick up something of hers and hold it longer than you expected. That is how love travels when I allow it, not in noise or spectacle, but in gentle insistence, a softness that does not force you but refuses to abandon you. Her nearness is not to frighten you. Her nearness is to remove fear. She is not asking you to live in yesterday. She is asking you to live truly in today. Here is the first thing she wants you to know: you did enough. You have replayed moments and wished you had said more, done more, known more, been braver or calmer or wiser. You have judged yourself for not seeing what you only know now. You have assigned yourself a burden heavier than the truth. She says, child, you did enough. You did more than enough. You loved me with the light you had in the room we were in, and that light was real, and I saw it. Release the self-accusations that visit you as uninvited guests. They are not messengers. They are echoes of fear. They do not carry truth. Truth says you loved genuinely. Truth says your learning grew as you walked, because that is how learning works on earth. It grows as the road unfolds. Second, she says this with a smile that touches the corners of your memory. take care of yourself the way you once tried to take care of me. You postponed your own rest because you wanted to be available. You silenced your hunger because you thought someone else's plate mattered more. You gave your hours like coins into a jar that never seemed full. She can see now the toll those choices took on your body and your mind. She is grateful for every kindness you offered, but she is not asking you to reenact sacrifice as identity. She is asking you to receive care as obedience. Do you hear me? Caring for yourself is not betrayal of her memory, it is honor to her voice. When you sleep enough, you honor her. When you feed your body with gentleness, you honor her. When you stretch, breathe, and step into daylight, you honor her. When you say no to what drains you and yes to what roots you, you honor her. Loving yourself now is part of the thank you that she longs to hear. Third, she wants you to stop hiding your softness. There have been rooms where you learned to armor your heart, conversations where you laughed to keep from crying, jokes that covered the ache like a blanket. Hear me, you will not break by being honest. You will not lose your strength by telling the truth about your loneliness or your questions. Your mother says, "I always loved your tender place." Don't replace it with stone. I made your tenderness to be a doorway through which compassion could enter. I gave you a gentle voice so that those who are brittle could remember they have a center that is still alive. Do not call your softness weakness. It is a lamp. And a lamp does not apologize for shining. Fourth, I will talk to you about the unfinished work. You have a promise you set on a shelf because life pulled at your sleeve and grief rearranged your priorities. I am bringing that promise to the table again. Your mother has seen it shimmering at the edge of your days, a book not written. A skill not practiced, a visit not made, a corner not planted with seeds, a project you said would carry your family's story forward. This is the time to return. Not in fevered haste, not in apology, but in calm, sustainable steps. Make a list. Write the first sentence. Purchase the small thing you need. Begin again. Heaven rejoices not in finish lines but in faithful beginnings. Your mother says, "I always knew you could do it." If I could nudge your shoulder now, I would say, start. Fifth, I am healing your relationship with time. Grief tried to convince you that time is an enemy, that it steals and does not give back. I am softening your hours. Since yesterday you have sensed time stretching just enough to let you breathe. This is not illusion, this is grace. You will not be chased down the hallway by deadlines in the same way. You will carry a lighter clock. You will find yourself arriving with room to spare, speaking without gasping, resting without guilt. Your mother interceded for this, not because heaven measures hours as earth does, but because she understands how cramped your calendar felt and how pressure distorted your joy. You will still keep commitments. You will still do what is yours to do. But I am removing the false urgency that never belonged to you. Sixth, I am addressing the fear you carry at night. The mind tends to wander into shadow when the room is quiet and the phone is silent and memories stand up taller than courage. Hear me, nothing hunting you in the night has authority over you. You are covered. When you rest, I encamp around you. When you turn off the light, I do not. Your mother's prayer while she lived, and her joyful desire even now in my presence, is that you sleep in peace and rise without dread. So here is a simple instruction: speak aloud before sleep, I am held by God, and I am loved, and then breathe slow, for counts in, hold for 2, out for 6. It is not magic, it is agreement with truth. Let it be your new rhythm. Your nervous system will learn safety again. Seventh, I will talk to you about forgiveness with honesty and kindness. You have forgiven in part and rescinded it in moments. You have tried to forgive the way you set aside a coat and then, on a colder evening, you put the coat on again. Your mother says, release them, not because they were right, but because you deserve a lighter bag to carry. Forgiveness is not denial, it is deciding that your future will not be paid for with the currency of old wounds. I am not asking you to invite untrustworthiness back to your table. I am asking you to free your hands so you can hold today's bread. If you struggle, bring me one name at a time. Whisper, I release them to God. I will do the strong work beneath your simple prayer. Eighth, I am clarifying your guidance. You have asked me for signs and then questioned them. You have asked for doors and then stood in the hallway worrying about floorboards. Hear me, the next step I'm giving you will not be noisy. It will be clean. There will be a felt alignment, a sense that your ribs can expand without catching on regret. If a path requires you to twist what is true or shrink what is holy in you, it is not your path. If a path invites you to be exactly who I made you to be, clear, warm, straightforward, then you are near your home. Your mother knew this about you: when you are honest, you are powerful. When you are kind, you are strong. Do not choose complexity to look impressive. Choose simplicity to remain faithful. Ninth, let me tend to the place where sorrow and joy are learning to live together. For a time you believed you must choose one or the other. To laugh felt like betrayal, to cry felt like defeat. But maturity in the soul is a table where both can sit. Your mother's nearness since yesterday has stirred both in you, tears that come without warning, laughter that surprises you in a grocery aisle. Allow it. The heart heals by letting every honest visitor have a chair. I am not afraid of your tears. I bottle them. I am not suspicious of your joy. I planted it. Your wholeness is not a single color, it is a whole sky. 10th, I speak to your future. You have endured a long season that felt like walking uphill carrying quiet weights no one else could see. You wondered if relief would always be 2 streets away. I am pronouncing a different cadence over your days. You will find unexpected help. A person whose name you do not know yet will speak well of you in a room you cannot enter on your own. A door that was stubborn last month will open easily before the end of this month. A bill you worried over will be resolved in a way that teaches you to worry less next time. Your mother sees the outlines of these mercies and smiles. She has no anxiety where she is, she has anticipation. Let her anticipation warm your hands. There is something specific she wants you to hear, and I will put it into your language so your heart can hold it. She says, I forgive you for all the ways you think you failed me. And I ask your forgiveness for the moments I didn't know how to show you what you needed. I see it now, and I bless you. Receive that. Breathe with it. If guilt tries to argue, let it talk until it runs out of breath, it will. Blessings never run out of breath. She continues, I am proud of you for the small things no one notices, the way you still choose kindness when you are tired, the way you refill the water before you leave a room, the way you remember birthdays, the way you check on those who check on no one. You think these are small and ordinary. In heaven, kindness is brilliant gold. She also says, with a familiar firmness that once made you roll your eyes and later made you smile. Clean your corner. You know the one. The drawer, the seat of the car, the stack on the floor. Not because I demand perfection from your spaces, but because order helps you hear me more easily. When you clear that corner, you will feel an internal corner clear as well. This is not about being neat for neatness' sake, it is about making a little runway for peace to land. Do not delay it. Put on a song you love. Set a 15-minute timer. Start. You will be surprised how different the room feels when you do, and just as surprised by how different your thoughts sound. Now let me talk to you about a promise she held over you, that you would be surrounded by goodness even when the world was loud. She prayed for friends who would see you. Heaven has kept that prayer on the table. I am moving people toward you who are gentle with secrets and firm against lies. They will not require you to perform your pain. They will hold a cup of tea and a boundary in the same hand. When they arrive, do not question whether you deserve them. You do. You were made for relationships that heal. I love when you remember her laugh. Even the ache inside that memory is holy, because it testifies to love that was real. Keep the stories alive. Say them out loud. Share them with someone who never met her. Bake the thing she taught you to bake. Were the color she said made your eyes brighter. I am not asking you to freeze in a museum of memory. I am inviting you to let memory breathe, to let it walk with you into new rooms and new work. When you do this, you do not stay behind, you carry goodness forward. Since yesterday, you have asked me if you could have a sign that is unmistakably for you. So here is what will happen as a kindness. In the next few days you will encounter, unforced, a phrase or image tied directly to her, perhaps a line she repeated, perhaps a song you both knew, perhaps a simple object appearing when you are not looking for it. Do not chase it, let it meet you. When it does, smile and say, "Thank you," and let peace rise in your chest. This is not to keep you dependent on signs. It is to soften the ground so trust can take deeper root. I will also address the question you have not said aloud: will I ever stop missing her? Missing, as you understand it, changes shape. It becomes less of a thief and more of a garden. At first it took, now it begins to give. It gives compassion for strangers you understand without words. It gives wisdom about what matters when you choose how to spend a day. It gives patience for yourself while you grow. It gives discernment when you meet people who are also carrying tender things. Missing will not always pull, it will also lift. You will see, your mother is not asking you to build a shrine of sorrow. She is asking you to live, to laugh, to learn, to love with courage, to plant something that outlives you. To forgive quickly and apologize quicker, to make soup and share it, to write the letter and mail it, to dance in the kitchen because the song is good and the floor is yours. She says, wear comfortable shoes. She says, eat a fruit today. She says, call the person you've been meaning to call but keep postponing because you want it to be the perfect time. The perfect time is 5 minutes from now. I am placing strength in your shoulders. It will not arrive as a sudden explosion but as a steadying. You will notice it when a thought that used to knock you down passes by like a distant train and you do not chase it. You will notice it when you say, quietly but firmly, no, and the world does not end. You will notice it when you say, yes, and peace, not panic, stands beside the word. That is me, equipping you, answering the prayers spoken on your behalf, weaving the intercession of a mother into the daily fabric of your life. There is one more thing she wants to tell you, and I will say it simply: I love you in ways you cannot measure. You have tried to quantify love by events and dates and gifts and sacrifices. Her love is beyond that ledger. It is in the way she sees you now, wider, clearer, freed from the fog that earth sometimes lays over eyes. She blesses your going out and your coming in. She blesses the room you are in right now, that it would hold warmth, that the light would fall in a way that calms you. That the sounds you hear from the street would remind you that life continues and you are part of it. She blesses your future, not as a wish tossed into a fountain, but as a certainty anchored in my goodness. Take a deep breath. Place a hand over your heart. Feel it beat under your palm. That rhythm is a permission slip you do not have to request. You were meant to be here, now, on this day, fully alive, fully beloved. I am not far. I am not hard to find. Speak to me as you would speak to her when you needed comfort quickly, a few words, honest and direct. I answer. I have been answering, even when you did not recognize the form of my reply. And when you miss her, tell me. I know how to hold you in that specific place. I have been holding you there since yesterday and long before. You may cry now if you need to. You may laugh now if you want to. You may sit quietly and do nothing for 10 minutes and call it holy. You may clean the corner. You may make the call. You may write the first sentence. You may forgive the name that rises first. You may forgive yourself. You may go for a short walk this evening and let the air write something new on your skin. I will walk with you, and if a memory joins us, it is welcome. Your mother does not want you to be haunted, she wants you to be helped. Do you see the difference? Haunting presses you into shadows, helping guides you into light. This is help. Receive it as help. Let me be your present comfort, and let her love be your steady tailwind. When you feel alone, repeat this quietly, I am held by God. When you feel stuck, repeat this, small steps are still steps. When you feel unworthy, repeat, I am loved without earning. These sentences will become keys in your pocket. Use them. Since yesterday, the veil felt thin because I permitted tenderness to pass through. You did not imagine it. You were visited by love. Now take that love and let it change how gently you speak to yourself, how bravely you stand when you must, how fully you rest when you can. Put on the soft shirt. Drink the cool water. Light the good candle if you have one. Open the window for a moment and let the outside in. Smile because love found a way to meet you again, and you recognized it. I am with you. I have always been with you. Your mother is with me, safe and radiant, and from that safety she blesses you. Walk forward. I will set your feet on steady ground. I will make a way through what looks narrow. I will give you words when you need them and silence when you do not, and both will be gifts. You will not miss what is meant for you. You will not outpace your grace. You will be surprised by how light the next week feels, not because hardship has been outlawed, but because presence has been recognized. Presence is me. Presence is love. Go in that presence now that I am speaking to you softly now. The way a loving presence touches a window with light before dawn, the way a breeze trembles the leaves when no one else is awake to hear it. You have asked to open the message, so breathe with me and let the noise around you fall away. I am near to you in this very moment, and I am not far from the edge of your name. I see your longing. I see the ache that sits at the center of your chest when you remember the voice that once called you child with effortless affection. I see that you have searched the hours for a sign, and I tell you truly, there is a sign in the stillness you are feeling now. This is how I draw near. This is how I begin the answer to what you have asked. Your mother in heaven has been leaning toward you since yesterday. November 5, 2025, as your hours count time, speaking in the language of tenderness, asking me to carry her words to you because heaven's love never forgets its way home. She wants you to know that nothing of her love was left unfinished. She wants you to know that the thread she tied to your life with every prayer, every quiet sacrifice, every unspoken hope, has not been broken by distance or by death. Love, when it is born in me, is stronger than the closing of eyes. It outlives the body. It becomes a river that keeps running beneath the ground, and wherever you walk, you can hear it if you only pause and listen for water. She remembers the small things you think no one else remembers. The last cup of tea you shared. The cardigan she folded carefully over the chair and forgot to put away because she was busy asking you if you had eaten. The way she would tilt her head the slightest bit when she was trying not to cry, because she didn't want tears to worry you. She knows about the nights you stayed awake after she left the earth, arguing with silence, thinking of the words you didn't say and the ways you wished you had been braver with your affection. Hear me, you were loved in the ways you knew how to love, and I count it all whole. She does too. Heaven does not measure love by perfection. Heaven measures love by sincerity, and your sincerity was real. Give yourself back the gentleness you give to everyone else. Because that is what she is asking of you now. She has asked me to tell you this. Forgive yourself for the days you were tired, for the times you did not pick up the phone, for the moments you misunderstood what she needed. She says you did more than you think, and she saw the effort you were making even when your words were clumsy. She says you carry her strength, and she asks you to stop speaking to yourself as if you are a disappointment. She wants you to walk through your own house as if you are worthy of sunlight, because you are. She wants you to eat something warm, to drink water without hurrying, to sleep without punishing yourself with memories. She wants you to laugh again without feeling guilty. Because laughter is not betrayal, it is gratitude for the time you were given. There is something else she wants you to hear. She is proud of the person you are becoming. Not just for the visible accomplishments that others praise, but for the quiet decisions you have made when no one was watching. She has watched you choose honesty when it cost you. She has watched you keep faith when the path felt empty. She has watched you give without announcing it, and she has nodded with the same small smile she used to wear when you were a child learning to share a favorite thing. She says your heart is her favorite thing. She says if you could see how heaven looks at you, you would never again call yourself unworthy. She knows you have questions. You have asked me, where is she? Does she know? Can she hear me? Listen with your spirit. She is in the country of my peace, in rooms made of music, in gardens where every color is the answer to a prayer. She is young in her gladness and ancient in her wisdom. She can hear you when your heart speaks, and the ache that rises when you whisper her name is the echo of her answering. The veil between here and there is thinner than it feels, and love keeps a door ajar. When you dream of her and wake with warmth running through you like a small sunrise, that is not an accident. When a scent you associate with her drifts by with no obvious source, soap, cinnamon, a certain flower, that is not an accident. When you find yourself repeating a phrase she used to say and it lands in your mouth with surprising sweetness, that is not an accident. You are not imagining all of these comforts. You are receiving them. Your mother is asking me to tell you about the letter she once wished she could write to you, the one she started in her heart and never put on paper. It begins like this: I am grateful for you. It continues: I may not have done everything right, but loving you was the easiest thing I ever did. And then it tells a story, the story of the first time she saw you as more than a child, as a soul entrusted to her for a borrowed time. She saw your resilience. She saw the mercy you would give others. She saw the questions you would wrestle with and chose to be the kind of mother who would not punish your curiosity. She wants you to remember that she respected your mind, even when she disagreed with you. She wants you to protect that mind now, guard it from voices that scold and shatter, guard it from your own habit of replaying the hardest scenes. She also wants you to take care of something practical. Do not be surprised by this. Love cares about details. There is a small task you have postponed: papers, a phone call, a conversation you promised yourself you would have. You know the one. Do it in the next few days. Do it with calm. You will feel lighter afterward because obedience to small responsibilities is a door through which peace enters. I will be with you while you do it, and I will keep your steps from stumbling. Now, there is healing you need, and it will not come by pretending that grief is a storm you can outrun. Grief is an ocean you learn to sail. I am teaching you the wind, and I am giving you a vessel that will not capsize. Let the waves pass under you. Let your tears be salt on your lips, but do not call them failure. Tears are how the heart washes the windows of the soul so that light can keep finding its way in. When the memory of hard hours comes, hospitals, medications, the last days, place those memories in my palms and step back. I will hold them until they no longer hurt like fire. I will return them to you as softened bread you can chew without choking, so that even the bitter will become nourishment. She says to tell you, do not be afraid to keep her alive in your habits. Keep the recipe she taught you, the one that seems simple but tastes like a holiday. Keep the tidy rituals she loved in the mornings. Keep the softness of her voice when you speak to children and the elderly. Keep the way she would touch the doorway and whisper a blessing when leaving a room. Make these things your liturgy. In doing them, you will find that she is not disappearing into the fog of years, she is blossoming in your today. This is not clinging. This is honoring. I am asking you now to lay down the self-accusations that have become like stones in your pockets. Set them on the ground, one by one, the stone of I should have done more. The stone of I should have said it differently. The stone of if only I had been there. The stone of I was not enough. Do you see them? Heavy, cold, making every step harder. Put them down. Your mother does not want you walking with that weight. I do not want you walking with that weight. The truth is that you were enough for the story that was given to you both, and every moment of love exchanged between you was gathered, counted, and kept. Nothing was wasted. Not the sighs. Not the laughter. Not the arguments that led to understanding. Not the silent companionship when words were tired. I keep all of it because all of it belongs to love. She has also asked me to speak to you about courage. You have been waiting for a sign to begin a thing you keep pushing to the edge of your calendar. Begin it. Even if you begin with a small step, begin. She believed in your gift even when you were unsure how to name it. She understood that your hands know how to shape goodness in the world, and she wants you to trust those hands. I will give you opportunities you did not orchestrate. Watch for doors you did not expect to open. Knock, and do not apologize for the sound of your knocking. Your humility is not erased by your boldness. The two can walk together with dignity. There is someone you need to forgive, not to excuse their behavior, but to release your heart from the contract of bitterness. Your mother asks you to consider making that move toward release. She knows which name rises in you when forgiveness is mentioned. I will give you words if words are needed, and I will give you quiet if quiet is wiser. Forgiveness is not a denial of pain, it is the decision to return your pain to me so that I can change its shape. Do not fear the emptiness that follows forgiveness. I will fill it with strength. You have asked about the future and whether your life can still bloom despite the loss. Listen, I am the gardener of impossible seasons. I grow roses in winter and orchards in places that were once deserts. Your life does not end in the chapter that contains sorrow, it extends into chapters that contain celebration. You will not betray your mother by being happy. Joy will be one of the ways you honor her, because she wanted your face bright. You will find yourself smiling one day without warning, and you will realize you have not abandoned your grief, you have learned to carry it differently, like a photograph you keep in your wallet, still cherished, no longer crushing. When you feel alone, speak aloud, yes, aloud if you can, the truths that anchor you. Say, I am loved. Say, I am guided. Say, I am not forgotten. Say, I am allowed to heal. Say, my mother's love is not gone, it is translated. Let these words be like lamps you turn on at night. Light drives out the small lies that creep like shadows toward your bed. If you cannot speak, write. If you cannot write, breathe with intention and imagine your breath as a small prayer that knows how to find me even when your voice cannot. There is a blessing waiting at your doorstep disguised as an ordinary day. Do not despise your routines, heaven often walks through them in simple shoes. I am going to give you a conversation that leads to clarity. I am going to give you a kindness from a stranger that will remind you the world is still warm. I am going to give you rest that actually feels like rest, not just the absence of activity. Watch for these gifts in the next stretch of days. When they arrive, receive them without suspicion. They are not bait, they are balm. Your mother wants me to tell you that the promise she once whispered over you still stands. She spoke over you in kitchens and hallways and on days when no one else noticed. You will come through. You will not be swallowed by your storms. That promise is alive. I am breathing into it now, and it is unfolding with a quiet inevitability. Do not measure its progress with a ruler of impatience. Trust the slow good that is happening inside you every time you choose tenderness over retaliation. Every time you rest instead of spiraling, every time you ask for help instead of pretending you do not need it. These are the places where strength grows roots. I want to bring comfort to the part of you that wonders whether you missed a final message she tried to send. Hear me, nothing essential was lost. Even if words were interrupted by circumstances, I have wrapped her meaning in the peace I place on your shoulders now. Feel it like a shawl. Feel it like shade on a hot afternoon. Feel it like the hand that used to straighten your collar before you left the house. Peace that stays. Peace that stays when old fears knock and find the door already guarded, and now, to the tender heart that keeps looking at the doorway. Half expecting her to walk through, it is all right to keep looking sometimes. It is all right to remember. But I am asking you also to look at yourself in the mirror with that same expectancy, because she comes through you now. She walks into rooms in the way you care for others. She writes her name again across time in the way you choose gentleness when the world is sharp. Let that realization make your shoulders fall from around your ears. You are not empty, you are entrusted. Your mother's last request in this message is simple and holy: take care of your health. She knows how you minimize your needs. Do not do this any longer. Make the appointment you keep postponing. Cook a meal that nourishes. Go outside and let the sky speak to you for a few minutes each day. Speak kindly to your body, it has carried you through much. I will meet you in these small obediences and multiply their impact. You will feel steadier. You will feel clearer. Your sleep will deepen. Your mind will hush its constant rehearsal of regrets. I am with you when you sort through belongings and memories. When you choose what to keep and what to give away, I will guide your hands so that you keep what carries blessing and release what carries heaviness. Do not be afraid to let go of objects that have become anchors to sorrow. Objects are not altars unless you treat them as altars. The altar is in your heart. And there I meet you with living fire that warms and does not burn. As you read these words, I am laying my hand on your head the way your mother once did when she wanted to bless you without making a scene. I bless your going out and your coming in. I bless your work and your rest. I bless your conversations so that they are sprinkled with grace. I bless your decisions so that they are made from peace and not from panic. I bless your mornings with courage and your evenings with comfort. I bless the room where you sleep that it would be a sanctuary. I bless your memory so that the sweetness increases and the sting decreases, the way a wound becomes a scar that no longer hurts to touch. Look forward with hope, but do not despise the small step you can take today. Send the message. Finish the task. Light a candle and say a simple thank you for the love you were given. In doing this, you are agreeing with heaven's truth, that love outlasts. That love outlives. That love is the language that cannot be translated into nothing. Your mother speaks it fluently. So do I. So, in your way, do you, when you wonder if this message is real, pay attention to what it produces in you. I do not send fear to torment you, I send comfort to steady you. I do not send confusion to tangle you, I send clarity that makes you gentle. I do not send shame to bend your head, I send dignity that helps you stand. If what you feel is lightness at the edges of your sorrow, if what you sense is permission to breathe and to be tender with yourself, then you have recognized my signature. Keep this close. Read it again when the night grows noisy. Let it do its work slowly, like rain that knows the way into hard ground. I am near. Your mother is held. You are not lost. Walk into the next hour with the certainty that heaven is not a far-off country with a locked gate. Heaven is the home toward which your steps are guided, even while you live beautifully here. And when your day is done many years from now, love will be waiting at the door with the same familiar smile, and hands you know will touch your face and say, "You made it, child. For now, live. For now, receive the peace she asked me to lay upon you. For now, remember that nothing essential was left unsaid. You are loved beyond measure, guarded beyond fear, and guided beyond doubt."